Small talk can be an extrovert's bread and butter.
Or an introvert's greatest fear. So today we're going to look at 9 sentence structures to help you ace small talk in any situation.
Today we're going to break these down into 3 different levels: low intermediate, high intermediate, and advanced sentence structures for small talk. And then we're going to give you a nifty little PDF with 50 unique small talk sentences down in the description below so you can practice right away.
So first in the low intermediate category is what's your favorite or what's your least favorite something?
Yes. So what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Cookie dough. Or what's your least favorite fruit?
Durian. Too smelly for me.
So you can use this one with general topics. It's a good starter sentence structure to help kind of break the ice, if you will.
Along the similar lines, we have another one for you in the low intermediate, which is the easiest or the most difficult part of topic. So if I ask Josh, what's the easiest part of editing a video?
Oof. The easiest part of editing the videos is the spaces in between the sentences or the phrases that we are thinking or have no sound. But what about you? What's the most difficult part of working from home?
Kids.
It's also the most rewarding part.
It is. It's the reason we do that, but it's also the most difficult because kids are loud.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Another one in the low intermediate category is what do you think of... So, for example, what do you think of going without sugar?
It would be really hard, but definitely doable. Reducing sugar is much easier than completely replacing it in America, I feel like.
That's true.
So in the high intermediate category, let's jump right into would you rather questions.
Ooh, that's our favorite questions that we ask each other is, would you rather A or B?
So, would you rather have 10 cats or 5 dogs?
Probably 5 dogs. Because at least with 5 dogs, you can just send them outside and have a minute. With 10 cats, you would have cats everywhere.
Yeah, it would smell like a litter box.
The next one is, what are the pros and cons of something? What are the pros and cons of living on a farm?
Ooh, there's a lot. The pros of living on a farm is you got the fresh air, you can have lots of animals, your kids can just run, scream, and be kids and play. The cons would be kids can hurt themselves easier. They can get into far more trouble. It takes more work and money to maintenance all of that, depending on the size of the farm, what all you've got going on. It takes a lot more time and stuff like that. You also might not have a strong internet connection, so if you do working online or you do lots of video calls, it would be more difficult to maintain consistency there. Another one is, what's the difference between A or B? This is something that you can do as you get into small talk. Like if somebody says that they are a chiropractor, you might be very valid in asking, well, what's the difference between a chiropractor and a general physician or a spine specialist or something like that? Then you'll be able to have a really educational conversation in that way.
And the last one in the high intermediate section is, what are the causes or the results of topic? So if something happens at work or some situation and you would say, what was the cause of this? Or what are the causes of this?
Right. Or if you're talking about somebody's history and they said, like, I went from teaching elementary school to running a restaurant downtown. You might ask, well, what caused you to do that?
Yeah.
What was the cause? What caused you to do that?
This one is especially good because you kind of get a story and see how things progress step by step, which is really special. So the last section is advanced questions. So for example, the first one is, what would you do if the internet went down?
Like permanently?
Boom.
Well, I would answer with I would. So I don't know, I'd probably work on a farm. I would also probably read more books. Oh. So notice with this type of question, you're going to be doing a lot of subjunctive. You're going to use a lot of modals like would, could, can, will. You're also going to use conditionals. So if you're confused about the first, second, third, and 0 conditional, then look into the subjunctive mood. That will help you quite a bit. Speaking of the subjunctive mood, here's another question that's really common. If you could blank, what would you do? Or if you were blank, what would you do? If you could travel to any country, where would you go?
If I could travel anywhere, I would probably travel to Germany.
Just so you know, a lot of these questions, these are just unique ways to ask questions in small talk. These are things that get a little bit more in depth, a lot of these set off conversations that are more than just small talk. Like you're getting to know somebody, you're learning about their history or how they came to be where they are. Small talk we generally apply to things that are like, how's the weather today? But also for things like, does it matter? Does it matter what would I do with $1 million if I don't actually win $1 million? Like, what are the odds? This is something that small talk we apply to things that are just very unimportant. They don't have an immediate goal. There's no agenda behind them. It's just talking.
So there you go, guys. These are 9 sentence structures to help you ace small talk in any situation so that you guys can kind of navigate those awkward situations. So be sure to look down in the description below where we have 50 example questions that you can use today, whether it's in the office or with your friends, so that you can go a little bit deeper and to help you become more fluent in those contexts.
By the way, by putting your email in the page that link will take you to, we'll sign you up for future free lessons and free resources from us directly to your inbox.
All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.